This week, the hidden casualties of inflation. Welcome back, reverse mortgage professionals, to the Industry Leader Update. All the stimulus checks, the virtually free PPP money, and quantitative easing, well, it's coming to an end and at great cost. And that cost is called inflation. Older Americans and retirees are often its unseen casualties. While retirees are not prone to shout loudly and protest en masse on the streets, they are nonetheless bearing the brunt of rising costs triggered by monetary policy and lingering supply chain interruptions in the wake of the COVID-19 pandemic. Typical retirement and budget planning is built around an assumed 3% annual rate of inflation. Today, annually adjusted inflation is nearly 3 times higher, hovering just below 9%. This means even those who have diligently saved and invested in a diversified investment portfolio are at risk. Bloomberg Law reports that surging inflation will likely lead to an increase in maximum annual retirement contributions in 2023 for qualified plans like 401ks and 403bs. And that's great for workers nearing retirement, but with inflation eating more of the dollars, a voluntary increase in contributions seems unlikely. Reduced contributions are more likely going to be the case. My concern is the longer high inflation goes on and the harder it is for these people to make ends meet, they, if they don't quit contributing altogether, will reduce their contributions, says National Association of Plan Advisors President Corby Dahl, a Sandy, Utah-based advisor at One Digital Retirement Plus Wealth. Now, inflation is also extracting its psychological cost. These are serious times, challenging times, and they seem to be taking a toll on the American worker and their belief about achieving a comfortable retirement, says Joel Schiffman, head of intermediary distribution for North America at Schroders. This year, inflation is the #1 concern Americans have about their retirement, and next year it may be something else, he added. Consequently, confidence in the American dream of retirement is fading. Of those approaching their planned retirement date, only 22% aged 60 to 67 believe that they've saved enough. And that's a reduction from 26% who felt confident in 2021. This leaves most having to weigh the options of continuing to work for who knows how many years, attempting to increase their retirement contributions, or possibly tapping into other assets, perhaps even their home's value. And the consequences of inflation are especially destructive in the early years of retirement. And that was a topic that Wade Pfau discussed in Morningstar's recent podcast, The Long View. Pfau noted it can be argued that there is in fact a sequence of returns risk when inflation spikes early in one's retirement. Because if there's a 10% inflation rate in the first year of retirement, and then it gets back to normal afterward, say you've permanently raised every future expense. Every future year of spending has been impacted by that first year inflation rate. So it would have a bigger impact on the retirement plan compared to, say, maybe 20 years into retirement. One saving grace is right over the heads of many retirees, that is their home's accumulated equity. With home price growth outpacing stock market returns since the pandemic, it could be a viable option. The question is, how many will finally look to their largest asset as an inflation hedge? Now, what are your thoughts? Leave your comments in the comments section below. And also, if you'd be so kind as to share today's video on your social media platforms. Don't forget to hit the like button and also subscribe to our YouTube channel. That way you never miss an upcoming episode. And each and every week, we bring you the latest news in the nation's only weekly reverse mortgage podcast. That is Heckam World Weekly. Apple users can listen and subscribe on iTunes. That's a wrap for us this week. Thanks again for joining us for another episode of the Industry Leader Update. And until we meet again, happy originating.